Hello everyone and welcome. I'm VelvettB and thanks for joining me today for a large family home speed build. So I am a Velvet. I'm a simmer from New Zealand. I love to play The Sims 4. I am a builder. So that's my very favorite thing to do in The Sims 4. But I absolutely love gameplay as well. I have so much fun with gameplay. I have a few series out on the channel, so if you do love a bit of gameplay as well, don't be afraid to check out Not So Berry, 100 Babies, or the Every Occult Challenge is one of the challenges I've got running at the moment. And I don't mind a bit of Cass either. I don't know how good I am at that. I'm going to say probably not very good, but I try my very velvety best, and I have fun. And that's the main thing, right? That we have fun. So hopefully you guys have fun watching me build this home today. Now there is a little thing with this. Now, partway through the build, probably about 2/3 of the way through the build, I don't know what happened, but I lost my footage. So we got about 2/3 of the build worth available to see, so you guys can catch it there. But then I'm going to go and take you guys on a tour for the rest of the build, because basically the bottom half in one bedroom I missed, and I don't know how it happened, but it happened. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to show you guys how I created this build on the exterior, because, you know, that's still a lot of fun to watch, and then all you just miss is a bit of decorating on the inside, so it's not so bad. We'll take a tour of it and check it out anyway together. And there, that's it. So this is, as I said, a large family home, and it's going to be a 5-bedroom, 2-bathroom home, so it should fit a good sized family. So there is a nursery, and that is on the bottom floor, along with a large master bedroom which has a home office area. So it is kind of set up so that you could run your own little business probably from this house, which might be quite appropriate because we do have the Businesses and Hobbies EP coming out in a couple of weeks. Yeah, around about a couple of weeks or so. My gosh, that's coming up fast. And yeah, I thought, you know what, let's have a little home office in the bedroom, and maybe they can do bits and pieces from there. I don't know what, but you know, that's up to you. If you want to download the house and have them doing some sort of activity in there, then hey, I say go for it. It is set up so that you can. So yeah, so there's a nursery downstairs, and it's got a toddler bed. Did I put in a bassinet and a cot? I think I did. I'm pretty sure I set it up as a full nursery, so fingers crossed I did that. And the master bedroom, which has the home office, so those are downstairs. And then upstairs you've got 2 double bedrooms, so up to you what you kind of do with those. And then there is also a kids room which has 2 single beds. So realistically you could probably fit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 Sims in here, easy peasy. And as that's the max, I think, you know, that's as many as we can put in, unless you've got a mod and you want to have extra people, then go hard. I imagine like having so many people in your game, like having all those extra people would be utter chaos. Like I have trouble managing 8 Sims in a game. I don't want any more than that. I say this having gone through the 100 baby challenge and having I'm working on the 100 baby challenge, I should say, and I've got 1 Sim, 7 babies. Yeah, that's hard work. So I don't know, just for me that seems like a lot of Sims in one house to manage all at once. But I guess, you know, some people are probably managing Sims a lot easier and a lot better than I am perhaps. So I wanted to make this a brick home because I was just thinking about, you know, a really cool family home, and I was thinking, you know, I don't build in brick very often. So I did want to make this a brick home. I'm just going from a red brick into a slightly browner brick. I felt like that worked a little better for me. I don't know what it is, but I kind of, unless I'm balancing it against black and like a lot of greenery, I find red brick a little tricky to work with. Or maybe it's not so much tricky as in I just veer away from it, and I don't know why. But I do quite like a slightly browner brick rather than a bright red brick. I just feel like that works a little bit better for me. I was kind of looking at the balance of the house and the colour, and very shortly I think you're going to see me sort of add a slightly different colour to the outside. I was kind of playing around with the windows, and then it was just looking quite brown and a little ho-hum. Like, it's a nice shape. I quite like the shape of it. I like the little dormers that we've created up on the roof. I thought that was quite cool. and I like the balconies, but it just needed this pop of something. And then I thought, you know what, let's add a pop of white, and that balanced out so nicely against the brown brick. And then the white trim on the roof, and I thought, you know, that's perfect, in the white columns. So I was super happy with how that kind of balanced out color-wise. I didn't actually mention this, but this is actually a limited pack build as well. So I used only expansion packs for this game, for this build. So that is all of the expansion packs, I'm pretty certain, from what I remember. So yeah, all of the expansion packs, but no game packs, no stuff packs, no kits. So that's it for this build. So yeah, limited packs are hopefully nice and user-friendly for people to download from the gallery. If you do want to download this from the gallery, it is VelvettB on the gallery. VelvettB. That's it. That's me. And yeah, you can grab it from there. It's super nice, a suburban sort of style, family home, beautiful brick, semi-modern. Well, I say semi-modern. It is semi-modern, but it does like have a lot more of a traditional vibe to it. So I did furnish this with a more traditional vibe in mind. Like, it felt like a little bit more of a traditional family home. So I did furnish that accordingly. I didn't go super modern on the interior. So you'll see that when we start decorating there, it is definitely a lot more of a traditional vibe there. And I created a little glass house or a little greenhouse around the back as well. So there is like a little garden area. So I don't know if the little home business that you want to create in it has anything to do with gardening, but it possibly could, because it's kind of got a little greenhouse there. It could be good for all year round growing of the old plants. So that could work quite nicely. And then, I don't know what it is, but just brick just says to me, put some greenery against it. And I just thought, you know what, let's do that. And so I added the ivy up the walls, and I just felt like that broke the brickiness of it all, and it just looked really pretty. And with the green and the darker green kind of trees around it as well, and I thought that was nice. And around the outside, I did use the island living hedges, but I did have an idea sort of partway through to add like a little bit of brick against like a brick fence around there as well. So you'll see me at some point, I think probably soon, I'll be adding in some little half walls amongst the hedges, and just create these little pops of brick. And I got the idea when I was playing Sims 1. Because it's such a nostalgic thing, playing Sims 1. I was just having a wee play around, and I bought this house. And I didn't really remember that when you bought the house, it didn't come furnished. And so I had no furnishings in this house, and basically no money left, and it was so difficult to play and make money. It's definitely not like The Sims 4 where it's so easy to make money. It was really hard to make money, and I was like, these Sims were like so hard to fill their energy bars and their hunger bars. You just had to eat about 3 meals to fill their energy, you know, their hunger bar. And I was just like, oh my gosh, this is so much harder than Sims 4. I'd completely forgotten it. Anyway, the house that I bought had like this green hedge around it, kind of like I've done here. And then it had like little pops of brick in between it. And I thought, you know what, that's super cool. And I've seen other builders do that as well. And obviously there's builders that have gone through the whole franchise, Sims 1, Sims 2, Sims 3, Sims 4. And, you know, they've just picked up all of these building ideas along the way. Whereas I played Sims 1 back in the day, and I absolutely loved it. I spent a lot of time on Sims 1, and I played a teeny bit of Sims 2. I did not play Sims 3, and then I sort of got into Sims 4 quite late. Well, I say quite late. I mean, Vampires was out, so I started playing Sims 4 about the time Vampires came out, and I didn't really get into building until probably a couple of years ago. So, you know, I was always all about the gameplay in The Sims. I wasn't really interested in the whole building aspect of it beyond, you know, having cool things in the house. So it's quite interesting for me as a builder to go back to games like The Sims 1 and just see the history of the game, and, you know, some of the items in the game that I didn't realize relate back to Sims 1. And just some of the building styles and the building techniques that I have seen around the place as well, and just seeing those from Sims 1 translate into Sims 4. And that was just kind of, you know, it's interesting anyway. And I'm such a little build nerd. I just pay attention to all these things, and I'm just like, oh, that's where that came from. You know, stuff like that. because, you know, it's been so long since I played Sims 1. I just have no memory of this stuff whatsoever. And I do have the bundle with Sims 1 and Sims 2, so I can sort of go back and look at Sims 2 as well and just maybe see some of the nostalgic stuff from that, and just see how that sort of makes a little appearance in how I build as well. But it's just quite interesting because, you know, a lot of the times I don't see those references that builders make to some of those older games, or just like these techniques that they've picked up along, you know, through the years, through such a long time of playing the Sims franchise, and I just don't have that. And maybe I will now, because I you know, be playing a little bit of Sims 1, maybe a little bit of Sims 2, and I'll pick up a few things. I do actually have the base game Sims 3, but I don't have all the expansions, just way too expensive, and I didn't really get into Sims 3 so much, but maybe one day I will. I've got the base game there if I want to give it a try anyhow. So this house has a pool in the backyard, as you can see here, and it is a heated pool because it's got the little bubble thing down the bottom which keeps it warm. You can add like the geothermal lot trade as well, and that will help keep the pool warm during winter. So if you do want to have the Sims swimming during winter, you should be able to do that with the bubble crack thing and the geothermal. Should keep it all nice and toasty warm so you can swim year round in that pool. I mean, that sounds quite lovely, doesn't it? I mean, imagine that. It's in the middle of winter and it's quite chilly, and you know, you're out there in the pool going, this is so warm. Imagine your heating bill though. That would be through the roof, like in real life. I don't know if it's that bad in The Sims, but in real life it'd be like, ouch. Oh, expensive. So I'm just creating like a little barbecue area, and again, I'm just bringing in that brick wall, kind of half wall thing going on there. I just wanted to bring, like, you know, just a couple of hints of the brick and into like other sections of the build, in little, you know, little pieces here and there, just to tie it back to the brick. I thought that would be quite neat, and just having I think it's the cargo counters there. I think that's what it is, the escargot ones. Is that like escargot, like snails? Is that what that is? Oh my god, am I just realizing this? Is that, seriously, is that what it is? It's like escargot. You know how like escargot is snails? Oh, no way. That can't be it. No, am I remembering the name of those counters wrong and I'm just making like a completely weird association with snails? No way. Although it could be, because that's very Sims though, like making those little references. I can't believe it. If that's the case, and I'm just realizing it now, what is wrong with me? And if it's not, I've just made up this whole theory about snails relating to those counters. Oh my gosh. Oh, I want to go into the game and look that up now. Oh, darn it. I'm really curious about that. Interesting. Okay, anyway. So I'm just doing the final sort of touches on the landscaping. I didn't want to go like overboard with adding like flower beds and that sort of thing to this build. I felt like it didn't need it, and I wanted to leave enough space on the grass, you know, just to get the feel that the kids were kind of running around, and you know, that they had space to play, because kids love being able to run around and have space to play, and having like flowers and bits and pieces everywhere just kind of interrupts that kind of concept. So yeah, and I tell you what, that roof sticking through, and then I added like a chimney to it. I kind of skipped over it in the video because I was just like fussing around with it for far too long, trying to get it to look the way that I wanted, because the problem was I could put the roof further in, but then it stuck through the second floor when you were playing in there. It's like, no, that's no good for gameplay. So then I added a chimney, and then the chimney was kind of half hanging down into the second floor. And I was like, well, why is it doing that? That's annoying. So then this is the builder's woes, right? When you're trying to work out why a thing is doing a thing in The Sims. And yeah, so I ended up managing to work it out with just like some half walls and building that around, and getting the chimney to sit right, and having it be a matching chimney to the brick. That's the next thing. So I managed to get it all working, but it took me way too much fussing around, and I just like skipped over that. So this is my little brick wall that I'm creating around the place. So just like little sections on the corner and around the entranceway to the build, to the house, as well as around the back, where I just created like an extra little gate around the back. I thought that would be super cute, so the Sims could kind of go out the the back way as well. And I'm just using some debug ends on the fences just to make them feel like a little bit more of a complete fence, if that makes sense, rather than just some random walls sitting there. I honestly wish in The Sims that they would give us some sort of like a variety of like fence ends, like these poles in a variety of sizes that we could just free place rather than having just the columns. I want some poles that I can free place around the place. You know, it's just something I really, really want in the game because it just gives you so many options for doing like different things and you can get so creative with them. It's really high on my wish list, and it just seems like a weird thing to have on your wish list. Like, people want fairies, people want bands, people want cars, and it's like, I want free placing poles. When I put it like that, it sounds a bit insane, but it's the truth. Like, I would rather have free placing poles than cars, fairies, or bands. And this is the actual real truth. Oh my gosh, I am just I'm a weirdo. Anyway, I'll accept that. I don't mind being a weirdo. I'm fine. I will admit it every day of the week that I'm a strange little bird who just wants some poles in the game. Oh boy. Anyhow, so we're building, what are we building at the moment? We're building the upstairs bathroom. So the build parts that we get to see on the interior are the upstairs bathroom and 2 bedrooms upstairs. So the upstairs bathroom will then lead on to one of the double bedrooms. So that's the green double bedroom. And then there's the kids' room, which we'll see me build as well. So as I mentioned, I did lose some of the footage, unfortunately. So the last part of the build is going to be missing, but we will take a nice tour together and we'll check it out. It was quite interesting choosing, like, as soon as I saw the swatch in the green. So this is a bed from high school years, and I've never used a swatch of bed in the game. But as soon as I saw it, I was just like, oh, that's pretty. I want to use that. So I did. The trouble with that was actually working out what to match with it, because yeah, that was a challenge because of the color green. It's not actually the easiest color to match with different things in the game. Also keeping in mind that I did want to create a more traditional style home, so I was going for wallpapers that had like a skirting board on them. So, you know, kind of had the wood paneling, so it's sort of half wood paneling, half wallpaper, which is like a little bit more of a traditional style. So that was definitely more where I was going for it with it. Also, I was super struggling with curtains, as you can kind of see here. Like, finding curtains that match that bed that weren't just plain white was not the easiest thing. So then I'm going through and like, maybe I should change the wallpaper. And then I saw this wallpaper and I was like, oh, that wallpaper is perfect for that bed. So keeping that wallpaper, and it was still in the green, which did not help me with the curtains. So it was kind of like, I found a better wallpaper, but then it didn't fix my problem of the curtains. And then I loved these curtains that I found, but they were way too tall and would not fit there. So I was like, it was like a curtain dilemma. Keeping in mind that I didn't have access to some of the best curtains in the game because I'm simply building with the expansion packs. I don't have any of the kits, or yeah, basically the kits have the best curtains. So I was limited in my choices there, and I was just like, oh, I'm going with white curtains because that green is completely the wrong green. And it's not working, and it's just going to have to be white. Sorry. No choice around it. Like, I know what curtains I probably would have wanted to put with them, possibly the Desert Luxe ones, because they've got a really nice sort of off-white colour to them, and that would have probably worked quite nicely in that room, but it wasn't to be, and I'm not going to complain about it, because I think the choice that I made was a good one with those base game curtains. I think they work quite nicely with that room, and it's quite pretty. And I added a TV in there just for fun. Because, hey, who doesn't want a TV in their room? So that is basically the green room there. And then we are, tell you what, the hallway and like living areas, the wallpaper on that changed about 10 times. I'm not even kidding on that. I kept on changing my mind. Like, I'd put it to one thing, and then I'd find a better one, and then I'd find a different one, and then I'd find another one. I'd be like, oh man, I just could not make up my mind on that. Anyway, I did find one that I liked in the end. because I didn't want it to be overly decorative on the open living rooms. You know, just like your hallways and your living room and stuff like that. But I still wanted it to be in keeping with how the rest of the wallpapers were in the build, which is with the the half wood panel, half wallpaper kind of thing going on. So I went with the stripy blue in the kids' room because I thought that worked really nicely. I did again just really struggle with curtains. Like that was a constant struggle in this build. Just the so many, so many limitations when it comes to curtains. Also, that's another thing I want, like a whole big base game curtain overhaul. Please and thank you. So this is two singles in that bedroom. So I was thinking maybe twins. One's kind of nerdy, one's kind of rambunctious and messy. So you got the neat side, and then you got the messy side, and you got one with awards, and you got one with posters all over the wall. Just very different personalities in that room. But they share a room, and it is what it is. But I feel like kids have a lot of fun, even though they argue a bit. They have a lot of fun sharing a room as well. Maybe maybe they like their own space as well. But in this case, these kids are sharing, and that's that. Oh, and I did remember to put a fireplace in. So did I put a fireplace downstairs as well? Yes, I think I did. So we put 2 fireplaces into this build. And because I spent so much time in the chimney, I had to make sure I put a fireplace in. Otherwise, what was the point? It's like, why do you have a chimney if you don't have no fireplace, Velvet? And that's a fabulous question. But fortunately, I have the answer for that, and I do have a fireplace, so it's fine. So I'm just adding like a little bit of clutter, stuff that kind of made sense for kids, because it's very much not a teenage room. It's more sort of like a kid's room. So 2 boys, probably. And it doesn't necessarily have to be boys. It could be whatever you like, really. It doesn't really matter. Up to you. And yeah, just one messy, one not messy. That's really the vibe I was going for in the story with this room and what I was thinking of. And just like, little bits of toys and that sort of thing. I just didn't feel like this had a teenage vibe to it. So it just felt like more two kids in here having a good old time. And some, skill building activities, a lunchbox, bits and pieces like that. Just to make it realistic. And then that's the messy side. I definitely had it in my head that I was going to add the teenage garbage artist or something, isn't that the name of it? It's from high school years. There's also one from Parenthood that you can use as well, the Parenthood bag. And they're great because they don't interrupt the flow of the Sims walking or anything like that. They're not clutter that gets in the way. You can still walk over it. So it's actually quite a good clutter. Now this is just about the end of the building portion of this video, because I got up to this room and did the fireplace, and that was it. I don't know where the rest of the build went. It was like, poof, gone. But that's okay. We're going to take a lovely tour of how the rest of it turned out, so you guys can check it out, which will be good. So it's on to the tour. This is what we did. This is how it all turned out in the end. Whoops. So I actually really love the fencing and how that kind of came together, and just how it ties in with the rest of the build with the brick. I thought that was really cool. I love the little number on the front. That's from Lovestruck, and the bikes around the front as well. It just feels like such a family activity going for a bike ride, and I thought that was so cute to put around the front, like they just come in from a cool bike ride and dump their bikes around the front because they were hot and they needed to get a drink or something like that. And then moving to the inside, this is the hallway. So this is getting into some of the stuff that you guys didn't get to see. It was actually quite a large hallway area, so I was able to add quite a lot of bits and pieces to that hallway, including a fireplace. Then moving into the kitchen, I used the escargot counters. Sorry, still laughing about that. I need to check that out and see if I'm right, because that's hilarious if that's the case. And lots of little cute bits of clutter. I themed it brown and green, and that carried through that theme to the living room area, which has a bar, as well as using the cats and dogs furnishings, so end table chairs and couches. Then we go through to the nursery, and I actually made my own wallpaper for the nursery. So I used the cloud decals. So there's a base game cloud decal, as well as I think cats and dogs, I think it is. And they have like little cloudy little decals, and I just sort of made it so it looked like it was actual wallpaper instead of just random decals all over the place. Although, well, that was my aim anyway. And it's all set up so that you've got, the bassinet, the crib, as well as the bed, and it's all ready to go for whatever age kid that you pop in the house. This is the downstairs bathroom. It has a walk-in shower as well as a bath because, obviously you've got kids in the house and you want to be able to give them a bath if you can, rather than just bathe them in the sink. Now, this is the master bedroom. So I was talking about this earlier. This is the bedroom that has the home office area in it. It also has a bit of musical stuff too. So you've actually got quite a large room here that you can do quite a lot in, which I thought was really cool. But my favorite part of the build is just this cute little home office area. I love how I decided to put that in the brick. I thought that was really cool. And yeah, just like in a little platform in the triangle corner kind of in the room. And I thought that was really cool. So, if you wanted to add clients to, or if you wanted to bring clients in to talk to them or whatever, you could do that. And then heading upstairs, this is the upstairs bathroom, which we did see me build, which is cool. And it's just pretty simple, but again, just keeping with the browns that are, I guess, the prominent color on the inside of the build. Then moving into the green bedroom with that cool cover that I really, really like, but it's just been a challenging cover to work with. But we got there in the end, and I really like that wallpaper with it. And then into the neat/messy kids room with the two single beds kind of divided down the middle, and yeah, one side messy, one side neat for the nerd versus the rambunctious kind of scamp there, which I think is cute. And then this is the other double bedroom upstairs, which could also serve as a master bedroom if you wanted to go that route. But I felt like the one downstairs kind of more fit the master bedroom kind of vibe. But I felt like maybe this is like grandma's room or something like that. That would be quite cool. But this is a cute bedroom and has a lovely fireplace and a TV. So, not so bad. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys have fun. And I will catch you in the next one. Bye-bye.